Hey, what's up, everybody? Christopher Small from Building a Law Firm. It is late. It's like 11:10 p.m. And, I'm dedicated to getting on here every single day. So I wasn't going to let the day go by. And so here we are. So hopefully you've had a good day. And, things are going good for you. Today, I kind of wanted to talk about something that I think, it probably crosses your mind every once in a while. If you're starting your firm, it probably is something you think about a lot. If you're going through a slump where people are telling you no, it's something that you're probably thinking about a lot. But I want to talk about sort of the effect of office space, of 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 any of these other sort of like um, outside influences, whether or not they have an effect on your business, on your ability to get clients. And this stems from a conversation that I had today with a buddy of mine who knows who he is because we had coffee this morning. And he's a financial planner, and he's a super good dude, very successful. And he has a couple of things going for him that make these kinds of decisions really interesting for him in a way that it's not for me. And I'll explain it here in a second. But we were talking, and he kind of has had an opportunity to reset his business a little bit and kind of rethink and re-examine the way that he's approaching his business and the things that he's doing. And so we were talking, and so here's the thing. He is a huge car guy, has been for like his whole life, really into cars, loves cars. He's like a gearhead, right? And he owns a Ferrari, a sick Ferrari, okay? And it's his, right? He owns it outright. He's had two before at the same time, and a racing Ferrari. But up until this point, a lot of that, most of it, probably 99% of it, he's owned these cars because he loves cars. Let me put it this way: he also owns like a BMW, like a station wagon, and even that thing is the coolest BMW station wagon I've ever seen in my life. It's got like matte black green paint, like these sick rims. It just looks really cool. And so we were talking, and he was like, well, now that I've kind of had an opportunity to reset my business, he's got a family, like things have changed in his life a little bit. He's starting to think about whether or not he should keep this Ferrari. And although he loves it, he's just not using it as much for his personal use as he did in the past. And so he's thinking to himself, he's wondering, should I keep this car for its ability to sort of help market my firm? And so we had this conversation about this for quite a while, and sort of it wove in and out of the Ferrari, but it was a deeper conversation about, are these exterior things, do these exterior things matter? And so we had this conversation, and I kind of told him a couple things. First of all, for me, my ideal clients, this is the way I kind of couched it. You got to think about this. The first thing to think about is, who is your ideal client? That's step one, right? Who is the person that you are really trying to attract in a perfect world? If every one of your clients look like these people, like who would they be, right? And so for me, it's kind of, in my estate planning practice, it's kind of like the everyday scatolite, okay, which is going to be a different kind of a person than maybe anywhere else. But we're talking about probably a net worth of 6 million or lower, probably maybe 10 million or lower would be fine. But has a family, probably, I don't know, 50 or under, maybe 55 or under. Like I said, 10 million or under in assets, and works at Amazon, works at Microsoft, has been putting in time, saving, right? Just doing what they do, making good money. But at that level where you need some estate planning, you need to think about estate taxes and some things like that on a certain level, but nothing crazy, okay? Nothing anything outlandish. And so that's sort of my ideal client. And so what happens is those kind of people, when they're looking for an attorney, they're looking for something sort of specific. They have an idea of what a good attorney looks like, and it's important for you to meet them on at least a partial level, or they're going to feel this cognitive dissonance. They're not going to feel like what their expectations are being met, and they're going to feel uneasy, and they're not going to be sure why, and they're not going to sign up with you. Okay. Now there's a whole different set of clientele that I would call like the super high end. Okay, and even within the super high end, these people they're not all like this, but some of them are, and some law firms cater to these people specifically. This kind of a client wants the best of the best, the creme de la creme. So when they go to somebody's office, they expect the best. They expect an amazing view. They expect expensive artwork on the walls. They expect everybody to be in a $1,000 suit. They expect to pay $500 an hour for their attorney. And if they don't do these things, then their value perception is not being met, and they are going to feel cognitive dissonance, right? They are not going to feel like everything is matching up with what they should be doing. And because they don't feel this way, they are not going to be getting those people. So what I said for him was, number one, you have to think about who your ideal client is. And then once you have identified that person, you have to ask yourself, do they care about you having a Ferrari? Do they care about you having, an expensive suit? Do they care about you having a really nice office? And the answer may be in no or yes. It doesn't matter, okay? Whatever the answer is, that's going to sort of drive you to whether or not these things are necessary or useful for your business. And only he can answer that question. But then there's another extra side to this that really isn't critically important for him, and it's for you too, for me too. Because the other flip side of it is, do you just like it? Is it part of your being? Are you a gearhead? And if you are, maybe having a Ferrari isn't the right thing to do, because you could do other things. Like I told him, like, maybe if you still like to sort of drive the nice car and sort of be flashy from time to time, and get the street cred that comes with like driving up and pulling up in a car like that to some event or to like a client dinner or something, then instead of stashing away like $100,000 in a Ferrari, or probably more. I know nothing about cars, by the way, zero. While we were talking, he was dropping all these models of Ferrari, and I just was nodding my head. And then eventually I had to tell him, like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And this goes to my point of my story, though. So instead of just having one car like that, he could subscribe or become a member at like one of those exotic car sort of like exchanges, where you can rent a car, a different kind of car anytime you want. They have a whole bunch of different ones, and you sort of like pick and choose what you want. And I told him that he would still sort of get the street cred that he wants from the gearheads, because when he gets out, he can talk shop. He doesn't act like somebody that's just trying to be cool. He actually is into it, and so he can have those conversations. He can also have fun because he gets to drive new cars, which he really likes to do. And he also gets to sort of have like a little flash, which he just likes, he just likes to do. So when you get to, and that's important, because part of people choosing you and part of people deciding to work with you is them finding out who you are and then buying into that, right? That's why these videos are so important. That's why getting out there is so important. And that's why it's also important to be yourself, to be vulnerable, to share, to explain what's going on, to talk in the way that you normally would talk, to show up in the way that you normally would show up. Although I'm not wearing a hat all the time. I'm on a crazy bad run of hats today. I had back to back meetings at work, and I had to run out and pick up the kids, so I didn't get to do this until 11:15 at night. But those things are important. So when you're thinking about answering the question of, is office space important? Is something fancy important? Is a fancy car important? You have to ask yourself, does my ideal client care? Are they ever going to see it? If they don't, then is it something that you are into? I explained to him, like, I'll probably never have a super fancy car because I just don't care. I drive an old Lexus, because I like to put my money in other places, because I have other hobbies that I like to have. I like to pursue that are also, not that expensive, but, they cost money. But I don't care about cars. And nobody cares about cars that I roll with. So it just doesn't matter to me, right? So when you're thinking about this stuff, try to think about it from those perspectives. A, do the clients really care? Does it make a difference in their buying decision? And then B, is it just part of who you are? Because what you really want to do is be able to express your personality in every single way that you can. It will draw people into you. It will show your authenticity, and it will set you apart from everybody else. All right, that is it. Whew. Happy to have knocked that out, because we had a streak going. I want to keep it going. Christopher Small, building a law firm. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you know someone that has been talking about this and thinking about this, share this video with them. Hopefully it's not too shaky. I'm holding it with my hand, and my arm is shaking at this point because I've been holding this whole time. But anyway, if you like this, share it, like it, comment. Let me know. If you have other questions, let me know. And we'll be on here again tomorrow. I'm going to be in a suit tomorrow, I think. I'm going to make this happen during the day. All right? So that is it. Have a great night. See you again tomorrow.